Do you want to reach new heights in your career or profession, level up projects for clients, and grow your skills and expertise? Unlock your true e-learning potential and collaborate with experts from the iSpring Academy to create the perfect courses for your business. Get your team up and learning fast with an ever-growing library of courses created by iSpring experts. Train your staff in must-have areas such as leadership, management, and compliance. Your employees will be able to take courses on any device. Looking for the easy button for e-learning development? Here it is. Just let us know what you need and we'll build tailored e-learning courses for your specific needs. Custom courses address your team's unique goals and match your company's branding. If you need to learn the practical side of instructional design, this is the course you're looking for. It includes 20 video lessons that will help you master every stage of course development. You'll learn how to create effective courses from A to Z, engage learners, and help them develop their knowledge and skills. Level up your proficiency with iSpring software and increase your value in the field of e-learning with an iSpring certification. Your iSpring Professional Certificate is proof of your expertise in using iSpring software to build e-learning courses and deliver training. Earn the certificate and get exclusive access to the iSpring Talent Hub to land new job opportunities in L&D. iSpring Talent Hub is a catalog of certified e-learning specialists. Find an expert who will develop online courses, launch training programs, and tailor an LMS to your organization's needs. Or become a listed professional yourself. Join our community of never stop learning enthusiasts all over the world at the iSpring Academy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our iSpring Academy webinar series, where we talk about e-learning trends, share iSpring Academy tips and tricks, and cover clients' cases. My name is April. I'm an e-learning expert at iSpring Academy, and I will be the moderator for today's session. And today is our third session of Transformative Course Improvement webinar series. Over the next hour, we're going to review actual courses created by iSpring clients and discuss how to make them more engaging with simple adjustments. And to do that, as always, we have invited our senior course developer at iSpring Academy, Anna Pali. Anna will share a lot of tips on how to hone your courses. Hi, Anna. How are you doing today?
Hi, April. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Oh,
How are
I'm
you
doing
doing?
great, thank you. And before I pass the mic over to you, Anna, I would like to cover some technical points. So, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or you would like to share your opinion, please be active and share your comments in our chat that you can find on the right side of your webinar panel. We are going to discuss a lot of things today, so get involved and be active. Some of the questions will be answered right away by our specialist in the chat, and some of them we will leave for Q&A session. And of course, besides asking your questions in the chat room, you are more than welcome to chat with us in our group on LinkedIn. There you will find a lot of helpful and inspiring content. For example, useful resources on course development and content writing, webinars and events announcements, the latest trends, career advice, and more. Join our group and find yourself in the company of passionate instructional designers and course creators like you are. And as always, this webinar is being recorded, so don't worry if you are not able to stay with us till the very end. We will share the recording tomorrow in the email. However, I still encourage you to see through the whole session because it is a great opportunity for you to address your questions directly to us. And there is another reason, I'd say three more reasons to stay with us till the end. It's our gift for participants. Stay tuned and you will get 10% discount on the video course how to create an interactive online course. Also, we will give you free access to our guide, Instructional Designer's Notebook, and of course, everyone will get in the email tomorrow the certificate of attendance. So don't miss this chance to get the most out of today's session. And the last but not the least thing I would like to mention is that we are now conducting a brief survey to know your perspective on instructional design portfolios and how to make them shine. So, if you have a minute or two after the webinar, please proceed to this survey via the QR code on the slide or by clicking on the link in the bottom left corner. Your responses will contribute to the comprehensive guide on instructional design portfolio we are currently preparing, and you will be the first to receive the resource as soon as it's ready. At this point, let me pass the mic over to you, Anna, to start the presentation.
Thank you. So let me quickly share my
Sure.
screen. Okay, so please let me know if you can see it. You can just put pluses in the chat so I will know that everything is ready and we can move on to the webinar itself. Okay, awesome. So hello everyone once again. Welcome to our third session of our webinar series, Course Improvement, how to avoid mistakes and make your courses even better. Let's take a look at what is on agenda today. I'm going to show you some real life examples of courses that some of our clients have so kindly given us to use in this series. I will do a quick critique of the slides and in doing so go over various principles of course design that we all need to follow to make our courses the best they can be. First, I will show you what these course slides looked like originally, and we will talk about how they can be improved. Then I will show you my versions of them after I made some design changes, and we will discuss how these changes make the content or didn't make the content more visually compelling and engaging. So thanks once again to our course efforts who submitted their projects for our session. So let's get to it. So our first course is designed using templates from the iSpring content library. It's great when you're using ready-made templates because it can save you a lot of time to develop a course, right? So, but when you use templates, I recommend changing the color scheme so that it matches your corporate style. For example, here you can see here you can safely change the color of the blue objects so they do not conflict with another more important accent, which is on the bottom and which is red. In addition, so you can put the logo outside the slide in the player. Then the slide will have more free space and more order. Another thing I would like to mention is that in this course, the text is complemented by charts, which is awesome because it helps learners to better structure and comprehend the information. But I want to recommend an alternative method that can solve the same problem. And let's take a look at it. So here we've processed some of information using iSpring interactions. They can be used to visualize information and engage employees in the learning process. Working with interactions is very easy. So you just need to choose the appropriate template and insert a picture, a text, an audio, or the video file into it. The design of each template can be easily changed to match your corporate style, so as we did here. Besides, we place the logo in the iSpring player instead of the slide. So now it is firmly fixed in the upper left corner and complements the course instead of distracting learners from studying your material. Now let's go ahead and compare two versions of the same slide. So on the left, we can see the slide before, and on the right, there is the slide after our transformations. The learners are not only more involved in the learning process by interacting with the active areas on the pyramid, but they can also define the order in which they study the material. Freedom of choice is an important part of adult learning. And here they can go sequentially from the first tab to the second one and then to the third one, or they can study the third tab, then go to the first one, and then go back to the third tab once again. So the choice is theirs. Also, if you have a lot of diagrams and charts in your course, I recommend that you can take a closer look at the interactions as we did before. So the iSpring Suite includes 14 interaction templates for a variety of learning situations. They can be used to visualize information, like engage employees in the learning process more. For example, interaction can help you to illustrate the stages of product development or the history of your company. In the first figure, we see the cyclic process interaction. Sorry. This interaction will be very useful in courses on production process stages and industrial safety. For example, it can help to show the stages of detailed processing. You can use this template to represent any repetitive process. So, for example, the Deming cycle, also called PDCA cycle, a cyclical decision-making process used in quality management. The second picture shows a circle diagram, also called a pie chart. In welcome and onboarding courses, a circle diagram can help to visualize the composition of your product target audience, as well as to show to your employees the values of your brand. In addition to graphs and charts, any theoretical information, as I said before, can be placed in the interaction. So we will take a look at an example from the diversity and inclusion course. Here we've packed information using the labeled graphic interaction type. Moreover, the advantage of the content created in iSpring Suite is also that it automatically adjusts to different devices. So this is how the same interaction from the previous slide is played from the mobile devices. So users can still navigate through the interaction, not just using the next and back buttons, but using the buttons inside the interaction itself. So if you didn't take a look at that, if you didn't try interactions yet, I highly encourage you to try this out. And not only interactions, but iSpring Suite also has like the updated player design, text-to-speech feature, and custom character builder. So you're more than welcome to try this out. You will find the link to download the free trial version in the left bottom corner of your screen. Also, to make e-learning tools more accessible to you, we offer a special academic and freelancers discount, so don't miss out. Okay, so let's quickly sum up all the things, all the points which we learned from course number 1. So make sure you use a unified color scheme in a course. And if you use any corporate attributes in the course, for example, logo, make sure that the colors match. Placing the logo outside the slide in the player can be really helpful. This way, the slide will have more free space and more order. Interactions can be used to visualize information and, moreover, engage employees in the learning process. So, use different types of interactions to better fit your course need. And never forget, freedom of choice is an important aspect of adult learning. From time to time, you need to let your learners set their own rules of taking the course. So, for example, in what order they study the material. Okay, and as for space on the slides, which we discussed before regarding the logo, let's discuss how else we can have more of it in the course. We will begin with the simplest but one of the most important rules. Use widescreen format slides, 16 to 9 format. Designing and assembling a course starts by opening PowerPoint and iSpring and creating your first slide, right? So if the slide is rectangular in shape, then you can comfortably design, like begin creating your course content. But if you see something closer to a square, then the default slide size in your version of PowerPoint is 4 to 3. This is in kinda outdated format, but was used for displaying presentations with a projector. It is better not to use these for a training course because right now a lot of people like taking courses from their mobile devices, and sometimes when you have 4 to 3 format, it can be a little inconvenient to view it from mobile device because there will be an empty space around the edges while all the content will be compressed to fit. So let's not limit our workspace, and I encourage you to use the widescreen format. So, as I mentioned, to take the course using any device comfortably, it's better to select 16 to 9 because these will expand the screen boundaries and add more space for your text, pictures, videos, and everything you want to add. So, why is it so important to have enough space left on the slide? The thing is, but this is difficult for our brain to acquire information when there's a glut of data on one slide. At least 20% of the slide should be left blank so that the learners absorb the information better. And as a designers, we need to remember about this. Okay, now it's time to move on to our next course. And um, in this course, I would like to note that all the slides are in the same style, which is awesome because that way we are not out of the context during the learning process. Overall, everything is neat in colors, in fonts, and in the layout. However, it lacks variety of design within a single style. So right now it looks a kind of static. And there is a risk that the slide will just be scrolled through. We don't want this, right? So let's try to enrich the static presentation with a familiar interactions. Now we have grouped the 4 slides into one interaction. It can be very convenient and more interesting because when viewing the interactions, learners can switch between tabs, interact more with the material, and even enlarge the pictures if necessary. So we can see that the interaction design was also kept in the same style as the rest of the slides. Now let's take a look at it in comparison. So let me know, which version do you like better? April, can you please launch the poll for our attendees? So Version 1 is before, and version 2 is after. Version 1 is the original one, and the second one is interaction created with iSpring. So while we are waiting for your answers, I would like to tell you why I like using interactions that much. And this story will be based on my own experience. So, um, apart from being more interactive and engaging for learners, as I mentioned before, interactions can also save lots of time for the course offer, for the course developer, because you can make your course interactive. There's a help of animations and triggers in PowerPoints, that's for sure. There's no hesitation about this. Uh, but sometimes you can spend a lot of time just to trying to figuring out, or maybe this is just my problem, figuring out how to set up this in the right direction. And when you have a lot of objects on one slide and you want to make it very interactive, so you need more triggers. And then in my case, uh, one mistake can totally ruin the slide. So um, this using interactions, you don't need to set up animations. You just need to select the template and add your information there, and that's it. Okay, that's my set story. Now let's go back to the poll that we had. Okay, I see. So some of you loved the interaction, and some of you still love the slides more, and that's awesome. I'm so happy that we have like different opinions of that. So because the more ideas we have, the better, right? So okay, awesome. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for being so active. Okay, and I can see in the chat that Khaled said, "Oh my God, yes, I hit triggers sometimes." Yeah, I can. I cannot agree more. So I love triggers, but sometimes one mistake and I'm done for hours trying to figure out what is going on. But they still good. Okay, now let's move on. So I want to let you know that we have a video course on course development, and this course is going to be useful for those who are looking to become instructional designers or learning and development specialists, and those who want to refresh their knowledge and be in the mainstream. So it's called How to Create an Interactive Online Course. So in this course, you will master principles for creating effective courses, instructional design theories and methods, course development stages. You will know how to create measurable and observable learning objectives, and of course, how to storyboard and script your course. Click on the link in the bottom left corner of your screens to learn more about the course. Upon completion of this course, you will get a certificate that can serve as a great addition to your resume. And if you want to see if this course is a good fit for you, if it's useful for you, because we don't want to waste money on nothing, right? And we don't want that you will do that. So you're more than welcome to take 3 lessons for free from this course. So just follow the link in the bottom left corner to take the free lessons. Okay, now let's go back to the course improvement. We go ahead to the course number 3. So let's run for the course preview. And here too, I would suggest turning to the iSpring interactions because the course contains like a lot of theoretical material consisting of text, pictures, diagrams, and charts. So when you add several schemes or pictures to one slide, you get an overload effect. It's hard to understand for learners where to look and in which order. Therefore, interaction is very helpful because the information can be divided into several portions. So it's also important to work on the text. Right now, black text on gray background is not good enough because there isn't enough contrast. So let's see how we updated this course. In addition to adding interaction, we rebuilt the title slide to make it look more modern. We left only blue, white, and black colors. We removed the gray background, and the problem of lack of contrast was immediately solved. Now the text can be read better. For information about control panel, we chose the hotspot interaction so that learners can study each element on the diagram one by one. And this is the tabs interaction. So this is a kind of, default universal type of interaction because it fits most courses and tasks. Okay, now it's time for comparison. On the left, we can see the slide before, and on the right, there is slide after our transformations. The first thing we did when we were building this slide was to place the header closer to the main text. This way, we followed the proximity rule. Let's talk about it in a little more detail. So, the rule is based on the proximity principle in Gestalt psychology. Object placed nearby are perceived as object with a connected meanings. So before we dive into the theory on this topic, I would like to know if you already heard about this principle, or maybe I have a chance to teach you something new. So April already launched the poll, so please vote and let me know if you know what it is. So no worries, there's no correct answer. You, this is our safe place, so we are here to learn something new. So don't hesitate to get to answer the real thing, what you know about it or not. I will have some water if you don't mind. Okay. Okay, 5 more seconds and we will go ahead to the next thing. Okay. Okay, I believe that we're done. Okay, some of you haven't heard about this. Thank you for giving me opportunity to teach you something today, and someone heard about it. Okay, but don't use it in practice. That's no problem. I will show you how you can use it. Okay, now let's move on to the slide where this rule will be shown in the perfect way. I just love the next slide. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go ahead. So now let's see how this rule works. So when you group in objects. In the picture which you have on your screens right now, on the left, there is the same distance between the circles. So do you do you think, well, this is like just one big square? Because I do. um, and this is just all of because of the distance between the circles. So we like we are perceiving that them as one large semantic group. And in the picture on the right, we can see the three groups, right? Objects, because they're kind of formed. So we can just see like three groups. And this is just because we have increased the distance between them. And that's it. We didn't do like anything else. This is just how it is. So consequently, the further the objects are from each other, the less connection is between them, and vice versa. The closer the objects are to each other, the more connected they are by meaning. So the same principle works in a text. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, um, so here we have the correct and incorrect slides. Right now, um, on the left side, we can see that the heading is not like this rule, proximity rule is violated because equal spacing, we don't like the header is too far from the text itself. And we don't understand if the header belongs to the first paragraph or to the second one. So now, and on the right, we can see when the picture where the proximity rule is followed. So here we can totally say like which header belongs to which paragraph. Okay, now let's go ahead and compare our slides. So on the left, the header is too far away from the text. It should be essentially form like one semantic group. So it means that the proximity rule is violated on this slide. On the right slide, the proximity rule is followed. So another advantage of this layout is that the picture doesn't cut the slide into two parts. Being on the right, it complements the text. On similar slides where you have both, like the text and the picture, I recommend placing the text on the left if the text is the main object. If it's more important to show a picture, you should put this picture on the left. And why is this so? So is it really like making a difference? So actually, yes. So it's all about the order in which we read the information. So some research shows, but most of us, not everyone, but most of us study the information at the upper left point of your slide and look at the content in a Z direction until all the information is read. That is the starting point is always in the upper left corner. Therefore, it is important to place the key element of the slide there. But I mentioned that not everyone do this thing, but so we are not um, we cannot forget about cultural and background differences of your learners. For example, this left to right concept most likely won't work for Arab cultures since their language is based on the right to left concept. And in this case, if you create courses for ND learners like belonging to Arab cultures, we recommend to do it vice versa. Like the first point where you need to put in information will be upper right corner. But okay, let's go back to the course. And in these types of courses, the main thing in the slide will always be the title. That's why the top left position is perfect for the header. So why, can you please let me know, guys, why do you think I talking too much about the header? So why the header is so important for the slides? And do you use headers on your slides or you just add like a text into it? So if you, okay, let's do the following. If you use a header, please put the plus in the chat. Okay, I can see an answer from Kylie and she told it helps learners understand the topic. Yes, that's right. Alan is using headers. That's awesome. Okay, but Kylie is actually, you're right. God, that's pretty hard to trick you. Okay, we have the answers coming. So we have the answer from I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, Pankaj. So he's using two. Awesome. I'm so happy to see that, but you're using this. Okay, so Kylie was absolutely right. So the header helps learners to navigate on the slide. And for sure, it helps learners to convey the key idea of the slide. So they will know about what this slide is about. Okay, now let's sum up what we learned from course number 3. So use interactions to divide information into several parts for better understanding. Make text readable by using contrast colors for text and background. Follow the proximity rule. Place the main object on the left and closer to the top, for example, a header. And remember about cultural and background differences of the learners. Okay, so we are ready to go to the next course. So this is the next course, and I would like to note, but here too, the unity of style is kept. From the very first slide to the very last one. The same colors, fonts, and illustrations from the same collection I used. But as with the previously viewed courses, there is a great lack of involvement in learning. This can be improved, no worries, in different ways, but we will again turn to technical simplest one, iSpring interaction. So let's see what we've got here. So we've created a glossary of terms because it's much easier to learn term like one by one. And with this like little one search field, you can definitely find the needed term in a couple of moments. Furthermore, we decided to supplement the theoretical information with a practical task. So this task is designed more to engage in practice than to test. So if you want to increase the effectiveness of your learning, I highly recommend breaking up the dry theory with a small interactive tasks like this one, a drag and drop question where users like need to remember information by using it in practice. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So as I mentioned before, on the right, we can see a question type called drag and drop question, and it was created in iSpring Suite. This is a great question type when you need to create a kind of, out of the box task and increase engagement in learning. You can drag and drop not only a text but also pictures and shapes. So your creativity is almost unlimited and you're more than welcome to use it. Also, in quizzes, you can provide feedback in the quiz questions. So this will help reduce the distance between the teacher or a mentor and the learner. For every question, for every answer, you can add individual feedback. You can also add additional theory, video, or audio explanation to the feedback, as well as the question itself. And if the answer was wrong, the learner can retake the material before the next attempt. Okay, let's move on and let's summarize what we discussed in course number 4. So create a glossary if you have many terms in your course. Supplement the theoretical information with a practical task to increase the effectiveness of learning. Use drag and drop question type to create an out of the box task and increase engagement in learning. Provide feedback in the quiz to reduce the distance between the teacher and the learner. And it's time to move on to the final course for today. Okay, so what ideas do you have for improving the course? If you have any, share them with us in the chat. So what you will want to change in this slide? So what you don't like at all? So this is our slide, so you can go harsh on this. Please don't hesitate at all. No one will be affected. Okay. Kylie told strange icons on the right. Yes, that's right. Kind of strange. Kind of strange collection is used here. Pankaj told looks old. Yeah, that's true. Kinda, you're right. Looks kinda outdated. Okay, awesome. Okay, so Kyla told maybe also add more text to let users know what the course is going to be about. Okay, yes, that's a good point. You can definitely do this in your courses. That's absolutely fine. Sounds like an awesome idea. Okay, okay. Do we have anything else here? Do you have any other ideas? So, what do you think about? Okay, Jay says more colors than needed. Icons can be improved. Yeah, that's true. A lot of colors and like a lot of, I don't know, there's some neon colors and some like simple colors. I don't know. Okay, okay. April also want to take part in our discussion today. Awesome. Two small text. Okay, I see you. Okay, thank you so much for all of your answers. Um, Let me right now tell you what I think what can be improved in this slide. But if you will have any ideas which will come up to your mind, feel free to send them in the chat. So first of all, it is important to work out the color palette. You're right. If you need to use a lot of accent colors, it is important to pick them so that they will look like harmonious together. Here's the colors do not mix well. And my advice, if you completely new to design, which is absolutely fine, everyone was there. So it's better to choose like just one or two bright accents and use only them to highlight the main thing in your course. When we use different random colors in the course, we get chaos, right? So if you're not sure how to match colors in the best way, there are several websites where the color palettes have already been developed for you, and all you have to do is to choose the right one for your course. So for example, you can use colors.co. Okay, the second point is that like there's too much variety in the style of icons. So um, here too, it is important to choose one style, like one collection of icons, and use only them within the course. Again, this is where the iSpring content library can comes in. Uh, there you will find icons for almost any task, and besides, they will match each other visually, so you can take a look at this one too. And the third, the last but not least point, um, I think about fine-tuning the course player. So leaving only the navigation elements that students like need to interact with during the course. So let's fix all these points. So this is the kind of slide we have. So we made everything looks the same in style and color. We also redesigned the course player by removing all unnecessary elements. Now the player has only those elements, but our learners are going to use to interact with the course. So what do you think about these changes? If you have anything you would like to improve, let us know. So feel free to share your comments. We will love to hear them. Okay, and we have one more feedback from Stanley. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. So icons should have names to understand what they are for a layman. Yeah. Okay, and Alan asked the question, how can we remove the buttons from the player? Is it the player in iSpring Suite? Yes, that's a player in iSpring Suite, and you can remove it using iSpring Suite under the player option. Okay, now I would like to outline improvement ideas from the course number 6. So use harmonious color palettes for your course. You can also use ready-made ones. That's absolutely fine. Just open the special website and find the one which you need. Choose one or two accents to highlight the main thing in your course. Select icons that match each other visually. Leave only those player buttons that are needed to interact with the course. So we've come to the end of our webinar today, and I wish I had the time to go over even more design principles and ways to improve your courses, but don't worry. If you want to take a deep dive on the principles of instructional design and really get your skills in gear, our video course I mentioned is perfect for you. So, how to create an interactive online course is for those of you who want to take their first steps in the world of course creation. You can create a complete course from scratch using only the help of the exercises and feedback from your iSpring trainer. You don't need any previous experience in creating courses because our training will provide you with everything you need to create your own. Also, this course is a great way to refresh your ID knowledge. We designed this course so you can create training that actually grabs and keeps your learners' attention. You will learn practical, actionable strategies for applying today's most effective learning theory to your e-learning courses. And as a matter of fact, you already met your trainer. As iSprint Senior Instructional Designer, I will share my expertise and will give you a helping hand when creating course like a true professional. The course has 20 video lessons about an average duration of 15 minutes, and 10 of these lessons come with a practical assignment for which you will receive expert feedback from specialists from iSpring. All lessons are accessible right away, so you don't need to wait for the trainer to send them to you. You can take them at your own pace and wherever you want. As your trainer, I will receive every task, answer any questions, go over your mistakes, and help you to fix them. I can also give you an extra task or lesson to help you master any subject matter you might need more practice doing. And as I said before, you will be assigned tasks after lessons to put knowledge into practice and build a sample course step by step. For example, you will be assigned to create a theory module, a test, and record a training video, which will all be incorporated into your final course. And as a way to show our appreciation for attending today's session, every participant of today's webinar getting a special discount on this video course. Enroll now and get your special discount of 10%. So just follow the link at the bottom left corner or scan the QR code on the slide. And this offer is valid until July 1st, so don't miss a chance to master your skills. So before we start our Q&A session, I would like to ask you to fill out a little survey after the webinar to give us your feedback. The survey will appear right after the webinar is over, so don't close the webinar window. And my colleagues will also just send the link to the survey in the chat in case if you're in a hurry, we absolutely understand it. So you can just follow the link and fill out the form. We will be happy to get any feedback from you and just to know how to make webinars more useful and more convenient for you. Okay, I believe that we now can start our Q&A
For
session.
sure. Thank you, Anna, for this wonderful presentation. And I would also like to add that everyone who fills out this survey will get this super guide for instructional designers. It has a lot of useful resources for new and pro instructional designers, so don't miss a chance. Okay, so back to our Q&A session. Guys, if you have any questions left after our webinar, so regarding the content, regarding the products, be sure to ask them here, or you can also send us your questions to this email address. I will send it now. So just send us a message and we'll be happy to reply. So, Anna, we have a few questions for you today. And the first one, let me find it. Okay, so the first one is how much text can we add to the slide?
So for sure, it's up to your course and up to how much information you have. But what I recommend in this situation when you don't feel like is it enough or no, I recommend to follow the rule, which is one key idea per one slide. So as for the amount of text, we also like usually follow Miller's law, use 7 to 9 item max per one slide because short-term human memory as a rule cannot remember and repeat more than 7 elements, so everything in this range is will be remembered well. So yeah, I believe
Okay,
that's it, all
thank
everything
you
I
for
have.
your answer. And is it possible for you to write the name of this law you mentioned, just for our audience to take some notes?
Sure, give me just a moment. Okay, I just sent it
Thank you,
in the
Anna.
chat, so just in case
Okay.
if you want to review it
And we
both more.
have also questions from Ellen. Um, I'm new in e-learning and a bit lost where to start. Is this course going to help me figure everything out? So, Anna, would you like to answer or should I? I actually already answered to Ellen, but I would just like to say it out loud.
So yeah, I believe. Okay, so let me quickly find this question. Oh, I found it. Thank you. So I believe that yes. So we when we like was writing this course, they think about okay, so I just started like me, I don't know, 4 years ago. What I would love to know, uh, in which order I would like to know about this, so it will help me to create a course which I will want to take. So we try to break down like everything from not how to even find a job as an instructional designer there. So I believe it can be very, very helpful. And for sure, we have some methodologies. So you don't need to worry about if it will only work if you have an iSpring or not. It will actually work for everyone. So you can definitely take
And
a look at
I
that.
just again shared the link to these three free lessons from the course that you can take and see if this course is a good fit for you, if it's useful for you. So um, just go ahead and take it. No credit card needed. So just sign up and you'll be able to see for yourself. And one last question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and one more moment I would like to add here is that um, you can use this chance to get a feedback, and I believe that it can be very very useful because when you just started to do something, you need someone who can guide you through
Sure.
this, and you have me as a trainer, so I will be happy to help as much as I can.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Anna, for this information. Yeah. From my personal experience, it's always better and easier to have someone like a trainer, a mentor, because I mean, we all know that YouTube has a lot of videos now on any topic possible, but it's so hard to find really good ones, like good videos, good lessons, and of course, the feedback here is like the essential part, especially when you have just started. So, one last question that I can see is about the fonts. So, what is the best font to use for headings and body text?
So for sure, that's up to your course because we can have like different um, type of courses. Like maybe in some courses where you have a lot of gamification, you want to get wild with this, and I don't know, like use any Jumanji theme or something. So where like Arial or Times New Roman will be just boring. Um, so also one important point here is it depends on if you have a brand book or not, because in brand book it's usually like it contains certain fonts that you can use in the courses. If you don't have it or you're not sure about which one you're going to use, I recommend to use universal fonts like something like Open Sans or Roboto because they're kind of universal and they are well read from different devices. So you don't need to worry about how it will be displayed because they are supported by almost everything. So it should be work fine. But you're most welcome this. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you for your answers. I believe we have no other questions, so I guess it's time to wrap up our session. And everyone, thank you for being with us this valuable hour. I hope you learned a lot, maybe just something. And again, Anna, thank you so much for presenting for us today. It's always great to have you as a speaker and to learn something new about course development and instructional design. And guys, we would be happy to see you at our future sessions and webinars. So I will again share the link to our LinkedIn group. You will find the webinar announcements there so you can join us for the future topics. And also again, this survey we have after the webinar, you will be able to answer what other topics you would like to see at the future webinars. So take this chance to ask us to prepare something new for you. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much and see you next time.